Welcome to the Leave No Trace Twiggy Fire How-To. This is my favorite type of campfire, and it's a very environmentally friendly approach to building fires in the wilderness if you have to. What you need is, first of all, a giant pile of dirt. I'm not suggesting one go out in the middle of the woods and dig a giant hole just anywhere, because that in itself is not very Leave No Trace friendly. Find an upturned tree or mineral soil or something off a sandbar, be just as appropriate. The trowel there is for reference. Generally need enough soil to build about 6 to 8 inches thick, maybe a foot in diameter. The trash bag beneath it putting in the fire pit, and if done correctly, there will be no holes that will not be scorched. This preserves the bacteria life in the soil, keeps it from being sterilized, protects the vegetation, and as an added bonus, I put a thermometer over there so I can kind of watch the temperature. First step is to move the soil onto the platform for where you're going to build your fire. And hope the trash bag does the play. And it is. Now we'll move this a lot closer. There we go. There's your good view. Current soil temperature is 84.3 degrees. It's been a scorcher here lately. First thing we're going to do is shape this mound. Kind of want it to look volcano-like in a way. With an indentation in the center, which is where you'll build your fire. I also suggest taking the trowel the way it's keeping good airflow into the fire later, creating little slats on the side here. Now we'll just simply take a ball of pine straw, twigs that are pre-snapped, pre-broken. You don't need a lot really. And the trick here is to only use twigs thinner than your thumb. About 4 or 5 loose branches on the ground. You get all this. More than enough to build a fire to heat water. And this may be tricky. Not good old pine straw. Had a pretty decent rain here today. Bag your twigs on. I want to keep as much of the fire and the embers in that main depression area as possible. Let's build up a bed of embers here. finally caught now. Bring the camera around here. You can kind of see in the little space that I made. See the embers accumulating there. Quite a bit of heat coming off of this thing. Get the temperature below the soil. Still 84.9 degrees. Now it's time to boil water. Good base of embers. A lot of heat. It's really, really hot. You can use this method I've done here of just setting the pan on the fire itself. One of these handy dandy sterno stubs. You just set it right on top of the fire. Put your pan on top of it. And now the usefulness of these vents come in handy. Will this be completely circular and you set your pot down on it? Cut off the oxygen flow by putting these little inflow notches on either side. Can help heat it along. Good set of embers under there. Water's already warm. One in the slide. It's uneven. Other reason I like to take that little camp stove. Here now. See a little bubble is forming in the bottom of the pan there. Yeah. That's more than a little hot. Now we've definitely got a boil. Now that's the embers. Red hot. you're ready for cooking it. Well, the purpose of this demonstration was to show you how you could make a fire and cook something on something this small. We cooked an ant, so I guess this is it's been a successful video in that sense. Now comes the fun part. Putting the fire out. Oh, the water almost hit it for us right there, but that's actually not the route we want to go with this. I'll turn this off for a second and move that dish and complete this exercise. Okay, now we remove the water. Current soil temp 86.8 degrees. So now what we want to do is, any of this loose wood that didn't burn, you want it completely down to ashes. Be true to leave no trace. This needs to be completely burned out. This will probably take more effort than the rest of the exercise put together. Pine straw gives off a good heat here. Essentially burned down to nothing now. What we want to do is take our scoop, mix it all together. Final temperature 86 point, well, it said 2. Let's see if we accomplished our feat. Should have no hold at the bottom of our trash bag here. As clean as the whistle. Return the soil to wherever you found it. I'll see you next time. Weatherman Sam signing off.